Hey coaches, this is Coach Sheffer again from obsessedwithoffense.blogspot.com. Find the link below to check out my blog, Obsessed with Offense, where I discuss various different forms of offense in the great sport of football. I love all offenses, so I'm trying not to leave any offense out. So if you know of a certain offense, especially right now, I'm looking for any kind of unorthodox or unconventional offenses or offensive formations, plays, anything that you do that not a whole lot of people do. I want to know about it. And if you want to be featured on a post, find me on Twitter, email me, whatever you got to do to give me that info so I can write up that post, and I will add you as a contributing author, and just to get that stuff out there. Now, today I wanted to talk a little bit about probably the most popular and sometimes the most controversial topic out there in offenses, and that is the RPO, or the run pass option. Now, a lot of high schools are doing this. A lot of colleges are running RPOs nowadays. And I have a few thoughts about the RPO. Now, just a word about this before we get started with the RPOs. This knowledge, quote, knowledge, is coming from a coach who has never actually run an RPO himself. I am just putting out my thoughts and my opinions on the RPOs. So if you are here to learn RPOs, this is not the video for you. You are looking for Coach Mackey, and I will leave a link to his webpage, his YouTube channel down below. So if you're looking for spread offense, you want to learn more about RPOs, you want to learn about all this stuff, that's the guy you want to check out, Coach Mackey. Now, my background, I'll be real quick here. I have coached in multiple offenses. I've coached in spread offenses. I've coached in traditional flexbone wing or triple option offenses. I played in, and have had some experience with wing T. And right now I am really researching the single wing offense. And I'm going to do another video on this, why I like the single wing offense, later. But right now, this is my experiences, what I've seen from RPOs, what I've learned from other people, how I feel about RPOs. So I think there are some pros and there are some cons to running an RPO offense. Now, many of you know, or you may know, that personally, I'm not necessarily a spread you out, go fast, high tempo kind of guy. You know, I like the wing T, I like triple option, I kind of like the ball control offenses a little bit. However, I do love spread offense. I love all offenses, and I love learning about them. So don't think that I'm coming at this in any way as a negative review of RPOs. Okay, but I do have some pros and cons I want to talk about. Now, some of the pros about the RPOs, about the run pass option, it's option football. So if you're a triple option guy, the RPO systems that are coming out nowadays are basically new age triple option, okay? Very similar principles here. The quarterback is reading somebody on the defense. He is reading someone on the defense. It might not be the defensive end, and it might not be the person that you're reading in the flexbone triple option, where you're doing an inside veer, and it's either going to be fullback dive, QB keep, or wingback pitch. In this system, you're spreading people out. You've got a one-back system, or maybe you're just a quarterback and you're running like a quarterback sweep. The QB has an option to either run it, throw it, or hand it off to somebody. Okay, so it's not really that much different than option football. So if you are worried that you're going to have to learn a brand new system, something that you've never done before, it's not really that much different. And in all honesty, RPOs aren't really technically brand new. The single wing offense has been running RPOs forever. You know, the triple option offenses, sometimes they have pop pass options. Okay, where they're reading the defense to see are they going to hand it to the fullback or they're going to toss it to the tight end that's running right down the seam, depending on what the defense does. Okay, so again, since it's option football, you are making the defense wrong. Somebody on that defense is going to be wrong. If we're talking high school or younger, maybe youth, I don't know if I'd run RPOs at youth level, but if we're talking high school, these are anywhere from 15 to 18-year-old kids. They make mistakes all the time. A lot of them are undisciplined, especially on defense. My high school, our players are really undisciplined. We're really bad on defense. So you're making somebody on the defense wrong, depending on who you're reading. That person, the quarterback is watching. Maybe the quarterback, they're running an inside zone RPO with a bubble screen or a snag route that's going to run right behind the linebacker. If you want to read that linebacker, maybe it's a middle linebacker, an outside linebacker, you're reading to see if I do my run fake, is he crashing in to stop the run, in which case I'm going to pull it and throw now. Okay? If he does that, if there's a snag route right behind him and that guy's open, he's paying attention, easy 5 yards if not more. Okay? Every time. Maybe it's the bubble route. Okay, I love bubble routes. That might be, I'm looking into trying to do some stuff with the bubble routes. You're going to make somebody wrong on the defense. And another thing I really like about RPOs, this is coming from a guy who likes wing T offense. We like sequential play calling. So if you're thinking of wing T, you're probably thinking buck sweep, guard trap, and waggle. Those 3 plays use the exact same backfield action to fool the defense. It's about misdirection. You might not necessarily be using misdirection with an RPO since it's an option offense. Okay? The wing T is not an option offense in itself. One second. The wing T is not an option offense in itself. But very similar, you can have one play. Okay? You can have one play and have multiple looks off of that one play based on how it's read. Just like an option offense, like the inside veer. Either you're going to have the fullback dive, QB keep, or the wing back out wide for the pitch. Same thing, you've got a wide receiver out there for that third option. Okay? So it could have multiple looks. So you'd have to ask more of the guys like Coach Mackey, Coach Slade Singleton. Those guys, they're really a lot better at RPO offenses than I am. You'd have to ask them about how many plays and stuff they've run. But imagine maybe your JV coach. If you run this well and you get your guys going and you're repping in practice, you might be able to have an entire offense based off of maybe 3 plays. Okay, maybe like an inside zone RPO, maybe a pin and pull RPO. So if you're a wing T guy, pin and pull is buck sweep basically. Or you could have some kind of pitch RPO or something. All right, so you're going to have 3 or 4 plays. They all have a different run added to it, but you're going to have passes and RPOs on the other side. And so you probably want to have some just pure passing plays, but you might be able to run an entire offense based off of 3 plays, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Joe Daniel and JoeDanielFootball.com, and I love listening to his podcasts. And the main thing that I have learned from Joe Daniel, keep it simple. So be simple, play fast, and win. Okay? Pick one play that you want to base your entire offense off of. You can do that with an RPO play. Okay? One of the reasons I really like it. It's explosive. These offenses that you're seeing at the college level are explosive. You are getting multiple plays per game, 20 yards or more. The defense is wrong. They don't know what the hell is going on. And these offenses are scoring, and they are scoring fast. They are scoring big. If it is explosive, if they are running it well. Okay? You can't just dabble in RPOs and run it okay if you want to be explosive. If you want to be explosive, you have to be good at what you do. Okay, so these offenses that are explosive are good at what they do. Think of Oklahoma. They have a couple RPOs. They are good at those RPOs. They were the best offense in all of college football this year, bar none. And Baker Mayfield may have made their team better, but I think they would have been explosive under some Joe Blow off the street if they were good at what they were doing. Okay, I'm not saying at all that RPOs are going to make you better. There is no offense out there that's going to make you better automatically. You need to be good at what you do. Teach what you teach. Okay. One of the reasons I don't do RPOs is because I've never done it before. If I coach under somebody who runs RPOs, I'll learn more about it. But until then, we'll see. All right. So some cons. Again, I'm not saying that I don't like these offenses. But here are some cons to some of the reasons I don't necessarily like RPOs all that much as many other people do. I'm not a RPO disciple like some people. To run an RPO offense, you pretty much have to be in the shotgun or in pistol the entire time. I haven't found a way to run RPOs necessarily under center. I like under center offenses. I am scared to death with the shotgun snaps. Shotgun snaps scare me to death. Okay, I've never been good at coaching it for whatever reason. I plan on getting better at coaching that in the future so that I can run some shotgun in the future, but I haven't been that good at it yet. So that kind of scares me. This one right here. You are forcing the quarterback to make a very fast read. Option guys might be okay with this because that's what you're doing anyways. If you're talking about maybe running a midline option is potentially one of the fastest hitting plays in football. That is an extremely quick read that you have to make that decision right then. Same thing with RPOs because those linemen they're running the run play. They don't know if it's going to be a pass play or not. They're running the run play. So you have to pull that ball and throw it before those linemen get downfield. So if you're running RPOs, you really can't throw downfield. Okay? If you're going to throw downfield, you kind of have to do play action pass. RPOs are quick hitting, hit now. Okay? I don't know if I'm comfortable with having a 15-year-old kid making those reads all game long on his own. Okay, because the coach isn't making those reads for him. And I have yet to have a quarterback that I felt comfortable letting read the defense like that. Okay, as a play caller, I like to have control. I like to know what play is being run, where it's going to hit. I like to know what's supposed to be happening. And so in RPOs, sometimes you might not have that control. I'm a little bit of a control freak myself. Okay, so if I was going to run RPOs, I'd have to just let go, let loose, and have some fun. Sometimes I have a little trouble doing that. So that might be something I need to work on. All right, last con, and you can call it a con or not. You must, if you're going to run an RPO offense, you must commit to the RPO. You cannot dabble in RPOs. It's the same thing as the option. If you're going to run the option, you need to marry the option. You cannot date the option. You must marry the option to be good at it. Same thing with RPOs. You cannot date RPOs. You must marry the RPOs. I have seen some teams try to run RPOs in an offense that is not RPO based, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel right. That's because they're not married to it. You have to marry it. Now, again, I say it's a con because the offenses that I feel like I would want to run, I would not be able to marry the RPO because I want to marry other stuff like power, or if I was running wing T, buck sweep, or the down play. Okay, so it could be a pro. It depends on who you are as a coach. So remember, all of this is coming from a guy who's never run RPOs and might never get the chance to run RPOs. It all depends on what happens in the future. So if you have any comments, I would love to hear from some of you guys. Do you guys run RPOs? What have you found has worked for you? If you don't run RPOs, why don't you run RPOs? If you do, why do you run RPOs? I want to know this stuff. So anything that you guys have that will help, please comment on my video or contact me on Twitter. I love hearing from you guys. I love talking ball. So find me. It's at Darren Sheffer on Twitter. Okay, DarrinSheffer. I will try to leave a link in the description below. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please let me know. Please be sure to check out my blog at obsessedwithoffense.blogspot.com. And I want to remind you guys to remember to stay obsessed.